Hello and welcome to a special commentary edition of the Hudson Valley Disc Golf Podcast. I am joined today by Bart Welch
What's going on, guys?
and Andrew Barger.
Hey, how's it going?
How have you guys been the last week or so?
I've been sick, so not great.
But you did win your team challenge, is that correct?
We did win. Yeah,
Is it worth it?
it was real close, but yeah, it was worth it. You got nothing beats winning. So I'll stay sick a couple extra days for that cold weather.
Nice. Andrew, how was
Yeah.
your weekend?
It was good. It was good. Got to play disc golf both days. Winter's definitely coming.
Yes,
It's
I
getting
think
colder out
Saturday
there.
was that first round.
Oh, yeah.
The first really adjustment round.
Yeah, more layers in the future for sure.
So this is a special commentary edition because a couple weeks ago, I filmed the final round of the Long Island Redemption 3 lead card of the Open Division, which had if I'm correct, Bart, there was a tie for first?
Got my one good shot of the day. I appreciate that.
Hey.
Yeah, there was a tie for first. It was Tommy Cunningham and Jeremy Meekley were tied. Billy Pagnozzi was 1 back. I was 4 back, and Todd Springer was 5 back.
This was my first time filming a pro card, but it was also my 4th time filming a card at all. So I thought it was better than my last one. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I thought it definitely improved.
Steps in the right direction for sure.
All right. Not jumps or leaps, just steps.
Steps.
And I'm
That's
cool
all you
with
need. All you need. Just
Yeah.
keep moving forward.
All right, so this is after one round, like Bart said, 4-4-3-0-1. All right, now hole 1, par 4, 568. It's like a tunnel, though, right?
Yeah, it's
Bart?
a true 2-shot par 4. Start with the low ceiling tunnel, and then you got to find a way to navigate through those big pine trees just short of the basket. So placement is really important off the tee.
Are you looking for 3 or 4 when you're throwing this one?
I'm looking for a 3. I usually throw a backhand here and just try and get up kind of where Tommy ended up with that flick. If you're just on that left edge, you got a lot of options to get to the basket.
There is a hyzer line. None of you guys take it, not the spoilers, but have you ever seen anybody take that one?
Yes, I've seen it tried before. I've seen it forward that way. I know Tommy Bergman, we tried it for fun one day during a practice round. He took a 4 going around the outside, but and it wasn't easy. It was like 3 full power hyzers, and then he had a putt. But it takes a lot of the trouble out of the way, but you got to have a big arm for it.
This one, for Andrew and I, we're happy with our 4, right, Andrew?
Oh, for sure. I think on my first shot, I was just trying to get to the other tee box, just to start, and then from there try to get to the gap. Definitely not like to the basket for me.
Bart, what are you throwing there?
That was a Champ Thunderbird. Not the disc I would normally throw there. I normally throw a different Thunderbird, and I forgot it at home. So I had to try and make that one work, and just got a little too high. It was a decent line. If it was 10 feet lower, it would have been right where I wanted it to be.
Nice.
So Bart, in your mind, are you thinking at this course that you could possibly make up 5 strokes?
Yeah, definitely. Normally I would think so. I didn't really have a great weekend. I wasn't really putting well the first round. And so in that circumstance, I wasn't super confident in myself. But, on a normal day, there's definitely strokes to make up on this course. Because it's, a lot of par 4s and they're longer. And, if you can just get your birdies where they come and just try to stay out of trouble, you can make up putts on people or make up strokes on people.
Does this hole here make either of your Heckscher Mount Crushmore your 4 toughest holes but fairest holes at Heckscher?
Yeah, this one's definitely
sure.
on it for me.
Yeah, I think no, I've got my 4. This would be one of my 2 honorable mentions, but so far I'm outvoted. So
It just seemed like for me, all my shots needed to be long and well placed. Seems like with some other holes you can kind of fudge it here or there, but for this one you really need to be on point with all your shots.
yeah, and that's one of the reasons I was able to film the second round, because I had twisted my knee earlier in the week, and I thought I could, put a brace on and be able to throw, but this course requires you to be so, you have to commit to your shot and throw very straight, very far. So I wasn't able to do that well enough, and everything was hyzering out. So I was like, it's not really fun to be throwing out of the weeds every other throw. Was fun. It kept my knee loose at least walking around, but I had a good time. All right, now this guy Billy Pagnozzi, he's very easy to film because he is very patient. I also learned uh, that's one thing I learned about disc golf watching this is patience. Take your time. And first off, jitters probably. Now he told me to do that. I don't know if I'll keep that in there, but he just show it blowing up. So I don't know if I should or not. I might even my first edit had both of those out of there. So
Is that your version of a no mess?
all right. So yeah. So Jeremy takes the lead there with Tom Bogey, and Billy stands pat, and Bart and Todd are now tied. Can I ask you a question? And oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't even looking. We're on hole 2. That's Jeremy. Now this was bad positioning on my part, but I was already there, and I can get the throw, and I can get the finish. So I just tried to kind of do the best that I could there. And all these guys are bombers. I knew I wasn't gonna get all the way down, and I didn't want to be in anybody's view either, to be honest. But Bart, let me ask you, if do you think that you got caught up in chasing that first birdie, maybe, and we're pressing?
Not at this point,
Mhm.
because I know there's 5 or 6 holes on the front that you should be getting birdies on if you're playing open. So I just assumed that eventually it would come. But playing the most boring round of my life, the first round, you definitely want to start out strong and get ahead of the game a little bit. But I wasn't really thinking about it too much, and probably until like the back 9, I'm like, wow, I don't have a birdie yet today. I got to do something. But right here, I'm just trying to execute the shots and just try and find a way to get a couple birdies to start the round.
Bart, did you feel like everyone on your card had a strong enough arm to put it under that tree?
Yeah, I think we were all pretty much in range. It's just a tough basket to get to because you want to kind of hang it out right and, you know, get underneath that tree on a skip. But
And what are you throwing here, Thunderbird?
no, it's a Kong.
Look at that, beautiful. And you were like basket high, but just right? We're pretty close.
Yeah, I was
To
pin high and I had a little branch right in my way, so I had kind of a weird angle. I couldn't really run it as much as I would have liked to, but yeah, it was right down there pin high.
Wind wasn't really that big a deal, was it, this round?
The second round a little more so than the first, just enough to kind of mess with you when you're putting. Off the tee, it wasn't too bad, especially without all the artificial OB that they do for the Open. You kind of weren't super worried about it, but when you step up to a putt, you were definitely just trying to make a little calculation if you could.
I did. This was edited for content and minimal nausea. That's why if shots are cut off a little early, I was just, I tried to follow the disc as much as I could, and once, I mean, I got a little dizzy in the filming here.
Did those branches cause a bit of a ceiling?
Yeah, at least from where I was. Jeremy's in a great spot here because the branch goes up and he's got a wide open look at it. I was just kind of had like one branch right in my way, and I didn't want to hit it and then still have a 25-footer, so it's kind of in between.
All right, bunch of sexy pars here. So Jeremy will maintain 1 stroke over Tom and Billy, and Bart and Todd at 1 up. While
Me and Todd fighting for that last cash.
While we got a second here, I was gonna give the results for the other divisions for the redemption, beginning with recreational women. In 3rd place was Meg Collins, which got one of you guys a point.
Hey.
Yeah, and
She was my
Kellyanne
pick,
Keenan
yeah.
in 2nd, which got Andrew a point, and winning was Kayla Wade, and she didn't get anybody. Yeah,
I bet she does next time.
Was she a late register? Because I feel like I didn't see her name.
I don't remember seeing her name either. All right, hole 3. This is a kind of a weird one. You're throwing out of a tunnel kind of thing, like a canopy, and then around an island.
So this was a really fun route Jeremy took. He just out of nowhere just took this crazy hyzer to the right of everything and just absolutely parked it. And I'd never even seen that line before. It really isn't there unless you're looking for it. You got to like line up real funny on the box and come across on a weird angle. But if you are able to cut in front of that first tree, it is wide open on the right.
I wasn't able to follow the lines real well, but you could see even from my distance where they were landing. So I tried to get that on film. So at least you can see, like, spoiler alert, Todd's about to throw a really nice shot.
Okay, Bart, I have to know this. What are your feelings concerning the Jets beating the Giants? Good thing or bad thing?
Probably a good thing in the long run. Just a better draft pick. We weren't really gonna go anywhere this year. And since we both have quarterbacks of the future, I think there's going to be a couple big time defensive picks, in the top 5. So I wouldn't mind if we were drafting ahead of the Jets because we're probably going to be looking for some similar positions at the draft. So yeah, I'll take like the second or third pick. Down with that.
Andrew, I don't want you to feel left out. How many touchdowns does Tony Gonzalez have this year in Atlanta?
He retired.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Have you seen
But
him
he
lately
had,
though? It looks like he can still play too.
oh, for sure.
Oh yeah.
I think
Um,
he's like not only, I think, hands down the greatest tight end football's ever seen, but maybe one of the best receivers. Putting his stats next to like receiver stats, they're pretty similar.
Yeah, a couple of really good shots there. So now I step up. I got an eagle in my hand, and I was gonna throw that for the original line, and then after I saw Jeremy, he's like, "Yeah, it's wide open." So without changing my disc selection, I decided to kind of torque an eagle pretty hard, and it just flipped over on me with the breeze.
had you
I thought I
practiced
could
that
just
line before?
nope. Just I had seen that 2 minutes before I threw that shot, and I just walked up there with my eagle, thinking, "Well, I'll just put a little extra hyzer on and it'll work," and it just kind of flipped up. So switching discs there probably would have made a big difference, but I got caught up in chasing that bird.
Andrew, did you know Bart threw eagles?
I did not, man.
That's Andrew's favorite disc.
To be fair,
We could have been talking Eagles a while.
that's the only one in my bag. I used to throw an eagle a long time ago. I had a pre-flight number eagle, star eagle,
Oh,
and I
nice.
loved it. It was such a nice disc. And then I took it out, and I started throwing like FDs and T-birds and stuff.
Mhm.
And then when I was at the Warwick Amp side helping out with the table, I saw the eagle, and I'm like, "Yo, Nick, make this eagle one of your player pack discs, and I'll pay you for it." So I had to pay him in some plastic, but
Yeah, that's fair.
it's in my bag, and it's still brand new, so it's pretty stable. So I really enjoy throwing it.
I had a champion eagle, but I lost it at the Warwick tournament. It's out there somewhere.
Okay, so we got 3 birdies and Bart and Todd with 3s, meaning that the top 3 just move 1 stroke further away from you guys.
Yep, falling back,
Well,
or they're running
the
away.
time
One or the
changed.
other. Yeah, that's true.
And on to hole 4. This is a very difficult film. This is probably the best one you'll see. Maybe Todd's is okay. Yeah, then I had a little zoom issues.
I heard that this tree down also came down recently, which made it that gap a little bit tighter.
I don't know.
Now this one is a pure. This is like a pinball alley, so it's a true par 4, right? For as short as it
It's
is.
pretty close. Yeah, it's like a 3.5. Jeremy threw a buzz there and just pured it.
Yeah, how many buzzes do you carry?
I think right now, if I include a Buzz OS, I think I have 5 in the bag right now.
Nice.
And then just depending on what course I'm going to, I'll either bump it up to like 6 or 7, or I'll go down to like, I don't think I'd go any lower than 3 though. I'd probably do 3 or 4 at the absolute least. But I got so many of them, so I just usually I'll just go through the course in my head and get a game plan going, and if I think I might need it, then it's going in the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Before the round, is this one you're thinking you should get?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would normally throw a buzz on this hole backhand. They're all flicking like Firebirds, and I think Tommy threw an X-Cal, and they're just like crushing these high-speed discs. And I kind of prefer more of what Jeremy did, which is a little backhand turnover, but I really wanted to try and get a 2 on this hole, so I decided to speed it up a little. But fairway may not have been the play because you just bring so many different bad kicks into play.
Yeah, and that got pretty far down though, considering, right?
Considering, yeah, I hugged that left edge both times I played this hole. I was a little out of position here. I had kind of a weird angle, so I tried to just kind of take a little bit of a wide hyzer and float it as far towards the basket as I could. Just chipping away at it. Luckily, it's a par 4, so I have the extra stroke.
Now this one we went looking for. Everybody didn't believe how far it went, considering that it went into the rough. And then he does this, puts it right up there.
Yeah, great shot.
I saw some really nice forehand approaches during this round, and he does this a lot. The patent pending.
This is kind of one of Todd's things he likes to do. He's got the long legs, the long arms, so he's able to get some in good position. Even when he's out of position, he can make a little something of it. So he's able to stretch out there and just poke it right down the fairway. And I do this a lot, throwing from out of position. If I could have beaten that branch, that was a really good approach. I just hit that one little piece that was hanging over the fairway.
These guys made it seem like the right side of the fairway is definitely where you want to be.
Yeah, so far.
And really not much to do. Just try to get out and give yourself a putt. And this for par?
This is for par, probably in that 65 to 70 foot range. It was a pretty good
At this point,
toss
though,
here.
are you more concerned about making it or?
I'm running that all day.
Yeah, looks like it.
Put a good move on it, but
Yep.
Bunch of 3s and a 5. So we had Jeremy down 6, Tom and Billy still 5, Todd working his way back to even, and Bart drops to +2. But now we're entering a stretch, a pretty scoreable stretch.
yeah,
right?
I think 5, 6, and 7, even 8. I like 8. So I mean, you want to
Yes.
get at least 2 of these next 4 to try and keep pace. So this one's pretty straightforward. If you can flick it all, you just throw it out to the left and just let it work back to the basket. So Billy's got a really good flick. So a lot of these holes are going to set up for him really nice. You're going to see. I think everybody flicked here except for myself.
All right, Bart, you ready? I got a question for you.
Let's do it.
Andrew, you're going to answer this after him.
Okay.
It's an opinion question. So I'm playing a solo round, and I bogey hole 1. I'm by myself, mind you. Tell myself, you know what? That was a warm-up hole. And then I restart my round, and I throw an ace on hole 1. Is that an ace or not an ace?
Yeah, I would say that's an ace. I mean, in your mind, you legitimately said, I'm going to start this hole over. Then you
Yes,
go back
legitimate.
and you erase your score from your scorecard and you start over. Yeah, I'd give it to you. So I go with this little turnover line. Out of my hand, I thought it was perfect. And I just hit that one tree there.
Not much trouble.
Now it's an easy 3 and outside look at a 2.
Completely running that.
Yeah, there's so many trees on this green. If you're outside the circle, you're pretty much just trying to get it up there. I was running this one. Wanted to make up the stroke from the last hole.
I know I've said it before, but one thing that really got to me was the amount of time these guys take. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean like just being able to focus. And since I filmed this round, I've only played a handful of rounds, but I definitely noticed my putting. I'm not making everything, but I feel better after every putt because I'm taking my time. I can't say that I rushed it. I eliminated one excuse for a bad putt. So we'll see how long that lasts. And in a tournament, that putt right there was twice as long.
Yeah, you don't want to waste any strokes, especially in a tournament if you rush one or kind of like I did on the first hole. You missed it, but I stepped up to that 12-footer and I got a headwind that just blew right into me. And I was like, I'm only at 12 feet. I'm just going to throw it anyway. It'll be fine.
Oh.
And it just lifted up and hit the top of the band. So, just...
So you would call it laziness, not like
Definitely laziness. That one for me was lazy. I could have stepped off it. You had already walked away. A couple of guys already walked away, and I'm like, you know what? Just I'm 10 feet away. Just tap it in, and you make this putt 100 times in the backyard. Just throw it, and just kind of lifted up on me a little bit. It was definitely lazy, and it makes a big difference when you're trying to make a cash line, and you miss a 12-footer. So it's usually it might happen to you once around, and you got to find a way to battle past it, and just try and get better every time and take your time and fix the chain links like Billy does a couple times around. And, just when you have a chance to put it in the basket, you got to put it in.
So I don't know the scores right now, but
So through 5, I got Jeremy in the lead at 7. Tommy and Billy are tied at 5. Todd's 1 down, and I'm 2 over.
So after 5, Todd now under par. And we're on to hole 6. Jim Quayle wants you to sign up for the turkey trot and double basket doubles, which I believe now is full. They even have a wait list, but hey, weather determines those.
all right, this maybe not my best location.
So this one kind of similar, right? Just probably a little better for the righty.
This hole is almost an exact replica of the previous hole, just with the fairway shaped the opposite way. So you're just throwing a little hyzer to the right gap, just letting the disc work.
Now, Billy, he's with Birdie Fuel Coffee, and he's on Team Element, right?
Yeah, he was always a big Element guy. They're all good friends down there, so he's always been playing for them.
Have you played with him a lot?
No, maybe only 1 or 2 other times, if that. We're always at the same tournaments. We just never ended up being on the same cards.
Well, this is back-to-back lead card, right, for you at Long Island?
Yeah, yep.
And back-to-back
video. Didn't play well in either one, but
unfortunately the quality's going down of video.
And old game too. And just as I say that, Billy's throwing a flick, but
yeah.
I don't think Billy's ever met a flick he didn't like. So
Now this is the point. This is definitely one of those situations where the glare, I was just using trees. They're the best thing I can use to line up. And as I get confident, I'd go in a little closer. So you're still looking for that elusive birdie?
Yep. Trying to get my first one on the day here. I had a good look about a 40-footer in the first round from here. And this one I just got up in the air, kind of like my shot in hole 1, just decent line, just up in the air. And now I'm scrambling.
I know it's small consolation, but considering you had a pretty rough round, your score didn't reflect that. So that meant you scrambled pretty well.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have any like big blow up holes. I was able to kind of keep it on track as much as I could.
Your approaches and your putts were on.
At what point in the round did you want to shove that camera up my? Never mind.
I thought you were doing a good job, staying out of the way and just kind of, blending in. Anytime you went to play like a catch cam, you weren't really in the way at all. And I think the players want to be on camera. They want to get the exposure and things like that. And it always helps when the person doing the filming is not even, an issue with being in anybody's way or anything. So that's always a good thing.
I went out of my way to do it to the point where I think I lost a couple shots. And like on hole 3, I figured, hole 2, I figured even bad shots. But my hope is, people get familiar. If I do this more, I don't know. But people get to know me and are, a little more comfortable.
You want to get the good shot, but you also don't want to be a reason why somebody misses a shot too.
6-6. Basically, the order hasn't changed since you and Todd flip-flopped. And let me see if I can get in rec. I had in 3rd place for the Redemption 3 Milton Naharo, Brian Polowski in 2nd, and Bart's picked Daniel McGuire in 1st. That gave you 3 points, bumping you up to 4 points for the day. Andrew had... Who'd you have, Andrew?
Pretty sure I had Cookie.
You had Cookie. He came in tied for 10th. And I had James Berger, who came in 4th. So Bart is in the lead. Hole 7, the last of the trilogy. What do you think? What's the shot on this one, Bart?
This one's just, there's a tunnel right down the middle, mid or putter, or even a little turnover if you got something controllable. There is a lefty / flick hyzer line out the left side that I've seen people get 2s before, but for the most part, I think the most common play is right up the gut with something you feel most comfortable with.
So basically 5, 6, 7 is Anheuser, hyzer, straight.
Yeah.
Andrew, how'd you do on the 5, 6, 7 strip? That's pretty much for the intermediate advanced player. That's like your birdie row.
I think for me, I wasn't looking to get it anywhere in the circle. I just didn't want to be out of position. And a lot of people kicked right and had to fight back, and that looked really tough. But if I could make it in the middle, it wasn't too much of a second shot up to the circle, so I was able to par these holes.
Well, that's good. See, I mean, yeah, birdie row, but it's also don't lose a stroke row. You know,
Definitely don't lose the stroke.
it's
'Cause it
almost
was
worse to four it.
right.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't want to hit an early tree like off the tee.
Only because there's just so many other holes that pose greater risk.
Yeah, this hole felt like a pretty tight tunnel that you have to hit.
Yeah, it's tight. The bailout zone is really to the left. You could throw, you don't have to like really park it. You could throw something a little bit more stable. And as long as you hit that initial gap and just kind of let it drift left, there is like a nice little area out to the left that if you want to just try and put the pressure on your putter to make a big putt, you can just kind of punch it through there with something stable.
And you hadn't played with Jeremy before, correct?
No, this was my first time meeting Jeremy. Tommy, I've maybe only played with him once before. We're always at the same thing with Billy. We're always in the same tournaments, but we just never end up being on the cards together.
So Bart, I've never been on a MPO lead card. What's like the demeanor like? Is everyone pretty serious? Is there some light joking, some laughter, or is everyone kind of like in the zone?
I think in this tournament, it was pretty light. I mean, there was only like 9 people. I think 11 signed up and 9 people ended up playing. So everybody pretty much knows each other. You know, we all play Long Island tournaments all the time. So I think if you went to a bigger tournament and you were kind of playing with people you didn't really know, it'd probably be a little more touchy. But this one was it was pretty light on this card.
Yeah, I would agree with Bart. I don't have a lot of experience with MPO cards, but it did seem very loose. It's the idea of the redemption. They take all the OB away, so it's basically encouraging you to try to put up some big scores. Wind wasn't really that big a deal, was it, this round?
The second round a little more so than the first, just enough to kind of mess with you when you're putting. Off the tee, it wasn't too bad, especially without all the artificial OB that they do for the Open. You kind of weren't super worried about it, but when you step up to a putt, you were definitely just trying to make a little calculation if you could. So without playing hole 12 on the day, this is probably one of the more scoreable holes, and we're just really not showing you how it's done, unfortunately.
Nice putt there, though.
Yeah, it was a big par save.
Yeah, sorry, I put it on there. But,
No, it's fine.
That was for par.
Oh, that was for birdie.
Oh, okay.
So we all parred that hole, so no movement right now.
There are definitely some birdie looks.
Well, yeah, a lot of long outside the circle putts. I'll give the scores for intermediate women. Fourth place was Diana Devlin. She was my pick. Allison Piestra came in third. Andy Romansky gave you each guys a point in second place, and Stephanie Hamlet came in first. So as we stand through 3 divisions, Bart's at 5, Andrew 2, and I have 0.
All right, I missed Billy on this one. I was looking to the right. I saw Bart and wondering when he was going to throw. Caused me to miss that, and I almost missed Todd's there. I was going for the artsy coming at you, and I kind of ran down.
This one does have a Mando. It's one of the few with a rule this tournament.
Yeah, I don't think for this division the Mando is really in our minds at all. So we're thinking down the fairway most of the guys are going to flick it, or if you got a little backhand turnover. But I think my dad said he missed it his second round. So I mean, it definitely is in play for people depending on how comfortable they are with throwing into a field with maybe a little wind or something like that.
This one, I think the word Mando just freaks me out sometimes. So I have missed this many times. He's within putting range.
Yeah, he's like circle's edge there probably.
What are you throwing here?
Thunderbird. Just trying to put on a little ante, get it underneath that low branch, and then just let it flex out towards the basket.
Missed Billy's drive on here. His drive ended up in the bush.
Yeah, Billy was in the bush.
right?
I think he might have been a little past the bush, but just kind of towards the backside.
Yeah, he was deep to the left side of the screen there, as far left as you'll see in a minute.
Now this, I don't know if you could see it, but it goes into the big bush there on the left.
Yeah, that was really deep in there.
Yeah.
Todd giving it a run. How far would you say this putt was, Bart?
This was probably 40, 45-ish. I had the bush right in my way, so I couldn't even really hyzer.
Oh, had to let you know who was putting out of here.
Yeah, he's over by the tree, I think. Yeah,
There it is.
that was a great shot too.
Now his, I kind of had an idea with Jeremy. First of all, I knew it was Jeremy, but I didn't see until here. You see him over on the right hand. So
It looks like he can see the basket from there, but he could not
and
see
I
it
had
at
no
all.
idea which part of the bush he was coming at. And there he is, and he comes out. It was a surprise to me when it came out, to be honest. All right, so Todd took a 4. Everybody else with 3s. Bart, you're at +2. What do you think? You're running out of holes here, man.
Yeah, the back nine's definitely harder than the front, so I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull it off, but I'm gonna give it my best.
Hey, you're not out of it yet. I guess I could tell you, we could talk about intermediate players for the Long Island Redemption 3. John Farisi in 3rd, Joshua Strecker in 2nd, and Wyatt Mahoney in 1st place.
Dude.
You both picked Wyatt, and I picked
Don't say it.
Andrew, who came in 5th place. Andrew. So now Bart has 8, Andrew at 5, and I am still waiting. Hole 9. This is a tough one, Bart. What do you do on this?
Yeah, everyone's gonna pretty much just kind of lay up here to the mouth with either a putter or a little faster with a flick or something like that. But you just want to get it. You just want to get in position for the second shot. Nobody's attacking off the tee.
Tough to film. You got to hit that gap. What do you throw?
Yeah, I throw a buzz here. I just put it out to the left and just kind of let it turn the whole way. Try and get inside that first edge of the woods on the right. You can get pinched off on both sides here, so it's really important to be in position.
This one is fittingly sponsored by Pat Collins. His quote on the sign there was "Par golf, brother," and I've heard him say that more than he says at Cedar Beach. Just play for par, and he's usually on the lead card in round 2. So.
I imagine Andrew throws the eagle.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I do. I threw the eagle, and just to get a straight look at the gap, at that tunnel. Because if you're too far left, you really have no chance. You either have to go over top or just pitch it back out into the middle.
These guys are getting into the tunnel, so
That's nuts.
I mean,
Yeah, it's right where I want it to be.
yeah.
Great shots.
So Bart, what's the rest of your year look like? Just team challenge?
Yeah, just team challenge now. I think I'm gonna try and play the Warwick double basket doubles with Nick. If my work schedule works out, then we're gonna do that. But other than that, just gonna have one more team challenge match in December, and that'll be it for this calendar year.
Okay. Did I tell you, Bart? I added a few more alarms to my phone.
Oh, good for you. Getting with the
I
times.
switched to the laissez-faire. I mean, it's gonna take me a couple months to build up a backlog. So I'm actually having to do extra work for the next
For
month
now,
or two.
but then it'll just be
Yes,
piece of
because
cake later.
Yeah, because I'm creating new ones. But yes, so it's a long.
You'll thank me in the long run.
Great shot.
Yeah, I got that good.
This one I just hope to get a 4 on.
Oh, perfect shot.
Yeah, I hit that big fat tree in the middle on my second shot, first round. So I tried to beat it to the right, and it just stayed over a little bit too far and clipped that other one.
Andrew, what do you got coming up?
I got the turkey trot this weekend, and then Cow and Cookies space race.
Awesome.
I'd like to sign up for some more tournaments if I can find some.
Okay. Well, like Bart said, there's the I don't know when registration for Warwick double basket doubles is. Like the event itself occurs in December, right? Like 14th or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Jeremy here is just very consistent.
Yeah, a little flex forehand there is really nice to kind of like how Jeremy just threw it, to get it out to the left and then just let it go around everything instead of trying to beat the big tree and then all the skinny ones next to it. Yeah, Nick texted me the other day. He asked if I wanted to play, and I'm like, yeah, you handle it. I'll play. Just sign us up, whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna play Wedges double basket doubles with Fatty, but it's it filled up. I was like, okay, it's a fun tournament, and don't get me wrong, I'd play it. But there could be really bad weather that day, which could change my mind about playing it, or open it up for me to play. So I might have options.
Right.
Is there a significance to the double basket part of double basket doubles? Like, are there more than one basket or something?
Bart, do you want to explain it?
So you can only play on courses that have 2 baskets on each hole. So what you'll do is you'll both tee off, and then you'll go to your partner's lie and finish in one of the baskets, and your partner will go to your lie and finish out to another basket. You don't have to declare which one you're going to as long as you each finish out in a different basket. So it's kind of cool. So like
It's fun.
you might have a conversation before the hole starts where, okay, I'm going to throw it to short and then you throw it to long, but then you get a tree kick and now you're in great position for long. So then that person might throw short instead. So there's a lot of strategy and a lot of going back and forth, and the strokes can add up really quick. So you got to just play smart and take the smart shot selection and all that. It's a great putt. It's a lot of fun. It's more strategy than anything else, and you got to have a teammate that you kind of mesh well with, and you can't get too mad at him if he goes for the wrong basket or something. So it's fun.
Jeremy with the birdie on hole 9.
That was a nice putt.
And that'll wrap up the front 9 coverage. Take a look at scores.
So we all tap in. So through 9, we got Jeremy in the lead at 7, Billy's at 6, Tommy's at 5, Todd's even, and I'm at +2.